What is Canada and Prime Minister Mark Carney thinking with these declarations that, Palestine should be a state?
For the reasons I cited earlier, Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025.
In the middle of a trade negotiation with America, what are we thinking? Let's take a look at this guy on screen there on the left with some ridiculous takes on some of the recent developments with Canada, America, and Israel-Palestine.
My pleasure.
What do you make of the timing of Prime Minister Mark Carney's announcement on Palestinian statehood? Of course, all of that coming just over a day before this deadline.
The only thing more ridiculous than America hyper-focusing on Israel-Palestine is Canada. What are we doing? There's probably so many Canadians, millions, who don't know one person from Israel or one person that's been in Palestine that's from Palestine. What are we doing? Why would you say that in the middle of a trade negotiation with President Trump? He obviously doesn't like that. He's trying to work out a ceasefire.
And if Canada moves forward with recognizing the Palestinian state, is that a deal breaker for you?
Well, we're going to see. No, I didn't like what they said, but that's their opinion. I didn't like that. Not a deal breaker, but we haven't spoken to Canada today. He's called, and we'll see.
To try to end that war in Gaza, what is the purpose of Canada? What's Canada going to do? Again, so many Canadians wouldn't even know one person from Israel or one person from Palestine. Clown world.
I mean, I'm not going to read anything into the timing. I'm not privy to the considerations that were taken. But that said, obviously, the situation in Gaza has deteriorated from bad to worse in recent weeks. It's a total disaster.
It is, but what is Canada going to do about that? Again, you could say, if you want to be like one of the people that is more hawkish on war, that America is the global superpower and they have a ton of influence. Canada is not that. What are you thinking?
So clearly the government and other countries, of course, that have had similar positions to ours through the years have moved towards recognition. So it's not surprising in that sense.
Do you think that it would have factored into Prime Minister Carney's decision-making process here, the fact that we maybe were going to hear from President Donald Trump on all of this? Because, of course, earlier this morning he came out.
On everything. Donald Trump feels free to share.
This guy, watch this Trump derangement syndrome.
His tiniest, most inane, most ridiculous conspiracy theory and thought at any moment of the day or night. So I'm sure
Trump is cooking everybody right now in politics. Trump is the #1 politician in the world. I don't even think it's close. He's eating Canada's lunch.
I'm surprised we haven't heard about Donald Trump on whether or not Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry are dating. I mean, this is the kind of mind we're dealing with. And so, yeah.
That's not analysis. That's just Trump derangement syndrome, man. What is that?
We should expect to hear from it. Doesn't mean that, I don't know what it means. I mean, it means that, I think what's interesting, frankly, Hillary, is that if he is bleeding now, squawking that we are acting like an independent country, making our own foreign policy decisions, and that we shouldn't be doing that if we want a free trade agreement.
What's the decision? Just declaring that you think Palestine should be a state? How's that even foreign policy? Nobody, Canada's not a totally insignificant country, but to the Middle East, what is that supposed to do? Why not just deal, at least if you're going to, you shouldn't make that statement ever. You definitely shouldn't make that statement in the middle of a trade negotiation with America when they obviously have their point of view on that. And when I say you shouldn't make that statement ever, I just mean as the leader of Canada, it's not Canada's business. Canada has major problems. I know people disagree with that, but in my opinion, you're nuts. Canada, again, America maybe can be meddling around because they're so powerful. Canada is not that. That statement is just a dumb virtue signal. Probably looks good to some elite circles or whatever you want to call them in Europe, but brutal.
Then that is a clear signal, a real message that Canadians should be heeding. This is a guy as Prime Minister Carney said during the campaign, who wants to break us so he can own us. Well, he's acting like it today. I noticed he hasn't said this about Mexico, which has diplomatic recognition of the Palestinian state, or the European countries, which I just heard his press secretary going on about this historic deal they have with Europe. So no, this is very selective.
Look, the countries that should be talking about this are Palestine, Israel, the countries in the immediate vicinity like Egypt, Lebanon, and then again, I don't even know if America should, to be honest, but it's the way the world is. Fine, America. Just because there's a tradition and America's like the global superpower. Canada, dude, just fix housing, fix crime. Have you been to the downtown of any city in Canada lately? You have to play Frogger to walk anywhere. There's people doing drugs. It's disgusting. By the way, in a lot of countries with a far less GDP per capita, the streets are way cleaner. That's not a lie. It's just blatantly true. Canada needs to fix its own problems.
It's the behavior of a mafia don, which is the way Donald Trump behaves. And Canadians need to be wide awake and facing that. And our prime minister, maybe in prompting this reaction unintentionally, perhaps, is doing us all a favor by reminding us just what we're dealing with.
Oh my.
So what would you advise?
What a stupid thing to say, man. This guy's incredible. This is a former communications director for Prime Minister Jean Chrétien. Bro, that's like this unhinged Trump derangement syndrome. It sounds like he's in his first year of college just whining in some presentation. Guy's got gray hair, bro. Come on. Okay, anyway, with that said, thank you very much for watching. This is a newish channel. I'm going to start posting a little bit more on here. Thanks for watching. Let's save Canada. Have a good day.